Hi, my name is Shawn Scott, and in this video I'm going to go over how I made the instrumental cover of Coming Down by the Dum Dum Girls. So in my last video I went over into a lot more detail about the way that I process things. I don't think I really need to do that for every video because it could really extend the length of the video. So I'm just going to go over some basic production stuff that I did. But I'm going to go over the bass line, the guitar parts, the keyboard. Also in my last video, my MIDI keyboard wouldn't work while plugged in. I think there's an audio driver issue, but it wouldn't work plugged in because OBS, when OBS is on, it causes the MIDI keyboard to disconnect for some reason. I haven't figured it out, but because the instruments are using instrument cables and they're not being plugged in through USB, it does hear the instruments. So I'm going to still play the guitar and bass for this keyboard. So I'm going to jump right in with the bass. The chord progression for this song is easy. It's D, A, E. So in the guitar intro here, this part right here highlighted, that's just guitar strumming. That's just a D major chord, A major chord, and then E minor. So for the bass, this part right here, this whole highlighted section, this is going to be the chorus, and that repeats 3 times. So it goes intro, chorus, verse 1, chorus, verse 2, chorus, and then there's a verse 3 where the drums change, so it's kind of like a verse 3 / outro. So right here, you'll see this highlighted track right here. This is the bass track. I've only got one on this song. And this right here at the beginning of the chorus, that's where it kicks in. So you'll see 2 basically just repeated parts right here, and then it'll change in the verse. So for the chorus, it's super easy, at least what I did. I just go D, A, E. So I just hit a D, so it goes like something like. And I use a pick for bass. I know a lot of people meme on that, but so it's just D, A, E. Super easy. So I'll play this part of the song real quick. I don't know how loud this is going to be compared to my voice, but I'm going to play it in just a few seconds, so maybe turn down the headphones for a sec. So I'll mute the bass. So yeah, I mean, that's all I'm doing. Okay, so that's the chorus, and then it repeats again in the second part of the chorus. You know, the whole progression. So it goes D, A, E, and an E is for 2 measures, and then it goes D, A, E again. So into the verse, I'll play it first, and then I'll play it on the bass. Okay, so there's multiple things going on there. I actually really am proud of this track. I really like the way this one came out. But for the bass part on this, it's a little more difficult, I guess, than the chorus. Basically, maybe I'll zoom in the editing part here, but we're just basically playing the B minor pentatonic scale. So the B minor pentatonic scale on guitar and bass, as long as you're tuned standard, I'm in B, E, A, D, G on a 5-string. But a B minor pentatonic scale will start on the 7th fret. So here I'm barring the 7th fret right here. And on a 5-string, it would go like this. So that's the B minor pentatonic scale on a 5-string. So what I'm doing for this bass line right here, I don't really want to write tabs or anything. I'll just kind of explain it and play it, and then play the video slowly. You can figure it out. It's not very difficult bass line whatsoever. The original song doesn't use this bass line. This is just something I kind of improv'd and liked, so I implemented it in this song. So the way that I do the bass line for the verse parts is I just hit a D, an open D string, okay? And then I'm going to be on that pentatonic scale, right? I'm not actually barring this during playing, but that's where I'm playing. So it's an open D, and then on the G string, I'm going to slide from 7 to 9, and then back to 7. So it's open D, like that. And then I'm going to hit 9 on the D string, and then an open A. So it goes like, okay. And if you're actually playing, muting the open strings while you're doing the sliding and stuff. And then slide similarly the way we did the first time, from 7 to 9, this time on the D string, but you're going to slide to and from. So from 7 to 9 and then back to 7. So it sounds like, okay, so and then an open E, and again slide from 7 to 9, this time on the A string. So after your open E, and then repeat that, and then you could hit either the 10 on the E string, or you can hit 5 on the A string. In the actual recording, I'm pretty sure I hit 5 on the A string, because that's usually what I do when I'm playing pentatonic. So all in all, I'm just going to play it start to finish, and I'll play it slow. And then I do, you can see if you're looking at the Ableton recording right here, I play 3, I guess, I don't know how many bars this is, but 3 sections, and then I just copy and pasted one part here, probably because I didn't like the way this last, 4th section sounded, so I just copied and pasted from another part of this. But I'll play it. I did a little bit of like improvising, so throughout the bass line it won't go exactly like that. Sometimes it'll go like all on the D string here, something like that, just hitting stuff within that, going back and forth between the open notes D, A, and E, and then messing with the pentatonic scale. So basically that's what I'm doing throughout the thing. So I'll play it a little bit here. Okay, and then we go back into the chorus. So that is the entire bass for the whole song. The chorus is just copy and pasted. The verses, copy and pasted. Chorus, copy and pasted again. Verse, copy and pasted. Except for the one difference being right here I'll highlight, this would be right where the chorus would start again if we were just following that copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. The chorus would start here on the highlighted part. So instead of that, what I did is I repeated, I guess, this section of the bass, which is that thing that I taught you a second ago. I played it again, which allowed me to, I guess, fade out. This is the tremolo guitar, and then the solo, the lead guitar. And then right here, I just basically, right where that copy and paste little section of bass is, I ended it with a chord. And that's what the chord sounds like. So the chord is on the A string. You're going to be a 9 on the A string, and then just bar 7 7 on D and G. So bar 7 here on D and G, and then A 9. And then I went down, and then I came back up, but I just hit that smallest string there when I came back up, so it goes. Here, I'll play it so you can hear it. I'm just going to play it from the beginning of the bass riff. And then it just fades out. And that's the end of the song. So as far as like processing and stuff goes, I have a tuner. Always put a tuner. I don't have one on my pedal board yet. I also have a noise gate on here, but it's not active. I didn't think that I needed the noise gate for this song. There wasn't very much noise to gate. I also have a glue compressor. So the compressor is going to be compressing this track by like 3 to 5 decibels or something like that. And then the makeup here is set to 4. This is just the stock glue compressor with Ableton. Obviously 100% wet. And then I've got Amplitube here, which I like, but it's not necessary. I mean, look, listen what it's like without Amplitube. The tone, you know, obviously Amplitube is making it louder. But if I turned off Amplitube and turned this up, you know, Amplitude's not doing a ton. I think it's bass boosting it a little bit, making it a little bit warmer, probably adding like some saturation or something, but it's not, you know, it's not like radically changing it. You could get away without Amplitube here. I just like Amplitube and use it. Okay, so then finally I'm running an 8-band EQ. There's only 3 bands on. I've got a high-pass filter at, I think, probably 20 hertz, and it's at a 4 times slope. So if you're using a different filter, maybe that's like a 48 decibel slope or something. I'm doing a little cut at 120, probably because I just thought it sounded a little muddy. Or maybe, I think what actually happened is there was resonating, like some of the notes I would hit would resonate at that frequency. So if there's a certain note that's really resonating, and like you're listening to the bass line, and then every time that note comes up, you really hear it super loud, it's just resonating more. So I will turn down that specific frequency. You know, you could turn the gain way up and make the Q kind of high. You can sweep around like this, like what I'm doing on the screen. You can sweep around to find it. So apparently I found it at, what was it, 120? Yeah, and I turned it down by a couple decibels. Nothing too crazy. And then I have a little boost here at 1.7 kilohertz. I like a little bit of high. That's part of the reason I use a pick, is I like the attack. You know, I like that sound. And that's why I boost the high right there a little bit. So that's bass. I'm going to go grab a guitar. I'm going to be right back, and we'll go to guitars. Okay, I'm back, and with a guitar now. This is my white Fender Stratocaster. that I use for the recording and the video of this song. So I'm going to unmute the bass there, and I'm going to go to, I guess let's start with the main rhythm, which is strumming chords. The intro of the song is just the chord strumming here, and the first couple bars, the first 2 bars is actually just the hum. And on a single coil guitar like this, they on the single coil mode. So what's this? 1, 3, and 5 on the Strat, where it's just playing the single coils. That'll produce a lot of hums. That's the hum sound you hear in the beginning. It's like that. See? Now if I switch it to 2 or 4, which is 2 or 4, it uses both or 2 single coils, and it kind of cuts out that hum like a humbucker does. So in the very intro, I'm just using it in single coil mode to produce that hum. And I am doing that on purpose because in the actual original recording, I think they recorded it in a similar way. So I was trying to be true to the recording. Anyways, let's see, what tune am I in here? I might be E flat. Nope, I'm in E. Okay, we're not perfectly tuned, but that's okay. So the chord progression for this, and I'll tilt a little so you can see better. It's a D major into an A major into an E minor. Now I'm not going to go over exactly where your fingers go. This isn't a guitar lesson, but those are 3 very easy chords to play, and you just strum it. And then I also, so different parts of this, because I've copied and pasted in different parts. I'll sit down and play a section for a song, and there might be, 10 takes or something. So I don't, in every take I'll play a little bit differently. So I don't know exactly how I played each recording here, but generally it would either be strummed like this, or I could strum it and then do kind of an arpeggio. And so what an arpeggio is a broken up chord. And so an arpeggio of a D major would be like, so I might strum it and then start hitting individual chords, or I'm sorry, notes, usually from the bottom, the highest string. And then there was some parts in here, I think right here, I think, where I would hit the E minor chord. Let's see, how do I do that? I went like, and then I would depress the vibrato / tremolo. I guess Leo Fender, the guy who started Fender Company and designed the Stratocaster, called it a tremolo arm, like a 2-point, what does it say on the front? 2-point synchronated tremolo system or whatever. It's not actually tremolo. Tremolo is fluctuation in volume. It's a vibrato, fluctuation in pitch, not volume. This would be more like tremolo, as if you played the volume. That's what tremolo actually would sound like. This is fluctuation in pitch, so it's vibrato. Anyways, yeah, so that's what I did. Some combination of those things. So it's D, A, E, and then like I said, I would mix it up with something like that. And then for the other rhythm part, that is just arpeggio. This part right here. And this part actually has tremolo on it. I think, did I use a, oh no, I actually used a tremolo plugin. And this is just a stock tremolo plugin with Ableton. to where I can adjust like the amount and the rate. The amount meaning, you know, how extreme. Does it go completely silent and then completely full volume, or is it somewhere in between? And then the rate, you can, I think, BPM match that, but I chose not to because I thought it sounded a little bit better off BPM. So for this part, it is just arpeggio of the chords. So D. So what I'm doing there, hopefully you heard that. I'll turn it up a little bit. So that's just a clean kind of Fender Strat sound. And it's, like I said, with the actual tremolo on it. So what I'm playing is just a D chord, and I'm playing the, you know, high E string, the thinnest E string. I always get confused. Is that a high E or low E? I guess I always think this is low E, and that's high E because of the frequency. Low frequency E, high frequency E. But I've seen people call this high E, or I'm sorry, this low E because it's lower physically when you're playing it, lower to the earth, and this high. I don't know, it's confusing, but anyways, the thinnest E string, I'm holding a D major chord here, and I'm just going the thinnest E string, then B, then G, and back down, so it goes like, and then chord change, and you don't even need to play the whole A. You can just play the, instead of putting 3 fingers on, you can just put the 2 at the bottom, and then just open strings, because those open strings are part of the E major or E minor chord. Actually, they'd be part of the E major chord. They would actually be part of the E major chord as well. So that's the, okay, so and then I've got the chords that I'm playing here. I've got that panned left a little bit, and then I've got the tremolo panned right, and then bass is centered. So all together, just those parts, and I'll mute the lead, but it sounds like this. Man, I am not meaning to toot my horn here, but I really, really love the way this turned out. It turned out so good. All the parts of it. And then the organ on top of it as well. So like I said, my MIDI keyboard doesn't get along with OBS, and the audio driver, I had to use a special audio driver for this. I'm not even using the regular audio driver. I had to download a special one just to use OBS with Ableton. But anyways, it doesn't like my MIDI keyboard because it plugs in via USB, and it's not in the instrument input on my audio interface. So it doesn't like the MIDI keyboard, so I'm not even going to bother busting it out. But basically, I'm just playing, you know, D, A, E on this. You can see. So let's see. So I'm going to mute the lead, I'm going to mute the percussion, and we're going to listen to it with just what we listened to a second ago, which is the 3 instruments parts, and then now adding the organ to it. Also, I did automate a lot of this organ. So it fades in and out, first of all, there, which is the master volume for that bus, but then it also fades the gain. I have the gain modulated as well. It comes in and out. So I'm going to play just the organ and then the 3 instruments. So you can hear that automation in there, and the reason that I put it in there is because I felt like just straight playing it at the same volume the whole time, either it was too quiet or too loud, pretty much always. You know, the organ's kind of a piercing sound to listen to a lot. So I found playing it at the same volume throughout the whole chorus, it was just too much. So instead I would bring it in so it's kind of highlighted a little bit for a second, and then I'd bring it back down so it kind of goes into the background nicely, but it's still there, it's still adding to it. So that's all those parts. For the percussion, it's just drawn in drums. You know, that's what a lot of bedroom producers do now. I would like to get electronic drum set for sure. I would love that. Right now it's a space issue. I've got a lot of weights behind me, a bench, you know, that way. I've got plate trees for the Olympic bar and stuff. You know, I've got clothes, a dresser, all that stuff, and then here, this way, this is all desk and music stuff. So I don't really have anywhere for an electronic drum kit right now. But someday, I would really like that. I do know how to play drums. Not really well, but I know how to play them where I could have played it for this recording, and that would be a lot of fun. It's just a matter of space. Anyways, so these are just programmed drums. It's a drum sampler with different drum samples on it. I've got a glue compressor. For this, I think I'm compressing them by a little more. You know, most of the instruments are going to be compressed by like 3, 4, 5 decibels. I think drums, I'll usually compress a little bit more. You know, 5, maybe even 10. Let's see what I did. Oh, it's not playing. So you can see it's getting up to 6 and whatnot. And then I think I'm compressing it again on the bus. Oh yeah, multi-band right here. And then I've got some reverb on it. I've got Soothe, which is kind of a crutch plugin. You know, like I said, I've got another video discussing all the deep parts of production, and it's long. So go watch that, where I talk about all this stuff in much greater detail. But this one, I just want to talk about kind of the songwriting and all that stuff, the way the song's made, I guess. And then if you want more details on the production, you can watch the first video. And then here I've got a little shaker. The shaker, I don't have this like maraca, almost like rattlesnake thing in real life. I mean, I have other percussion instruments, but not one of these. So for this one, I had to use a sample. This is what it sounds like. Here, I'll turn it up. And then as you can hear, it's soaked in reverb. I really like that sound a lot. It's a great sound. I think it adds a lot to the song, you know, and especially for just being on 2 parts here. It's just out of the first chorus, and that first chorus has no lead in it. It's from the first chorus into the first verse, and then from the final chorus into the outro / third verse. And I just think it adds a little bit. Like, what's his name? Andrew Huang on YouTube. He called it ear candy. I watch some of his videos sometimes. He called it ear candy. It's just little things like, you know, that add a little bit, but it's not there the whole time. So anyways, that's the percussion. And then of course up here at the top I've got a notes section, which I didn't need to make any notes for this. So the very last thing is the lead. So on this one, I did have a gate because, you know, noisy, hummy Strat for that lead position, you know, it's so in the spotlight. It's panned pretty much center. It's loud, and in the chorus parts, it's got a fuzz pedal on it. So if I come over here to the chorus part, you can see. Why is it not playing? Oh, because something's soloed? Oh, no, I've got that off. There's a huge delay from where I play, and then it plays it back to me because this is a whole fully produced. Oops. This is a whole fully produced song, and the more, you know, thinking that the computer has to do on a system like this, the longer it'll take from it to go to the guitar, into the computer, get all the processing done to it, and then come back to me through the headphones I'm wearing. So it's kind of hard to play like this, but this is all amplitude. So again, down here, compressor, I've just got a regular glue compressor compressing, you know, 3 to 5 decibels, and then at the highest peak, I mean, not constantly. And then at the final part of the chain is just an EQ, and it's a high pass, just get rid of all that mud at the bottom. I also go into a lot more detail there on the YouTube video, the first YouTube video, I mean. So this was just an amplitude preset. It's just a kind of a clean sound. So if I go, say, like here, and this is all this is all the B minor pentatonic right here. So it's that's the shape 1, and then in this song, shape 1 is what you would use for the chorus, but it's shape 2 that you would use for the verse. So that we just went over the shape 1 of the B minor pentatonic, so shape 2 is this. So shape 2 in the second shape of the B minor pentatonic here, I go, let's see, where do I go? That's right. Why is there like a swell on here? What the hell is going on? So that's what okay, so this is the difference between the chorus and the verses. I've automated this pedal right here. Like I said, I don't have a fuzz pedal. This is a Big Muff clone. I don't have one of these in real life, so I used it on this, and I thought it sounded good. I thought distortion and stuff sounded too gritty, I guess. This fuzz pedal sounded nice. I liked it, and I liked the way that the Big Muff, the sustain thing, it just holds that for a little longer, which worked well for this song. But anyways, I'm gonna kind of show how I played the vocals in this part. You know, I know I said that it's not a guitar lesson video, and it's not for stuff like, you know, where the D major chord is, but I can go over the way I played her voice as the lead guitar. So on shape 2, we're at the 12th fret. We go, and then down to the G string at the 9, and then back up to the 12th fret on the A string, and then sorry, I'm not used to this. It would be easier to just make a tab, and then to the 9 on the D, 12 on the D, and then you could do 14 on the D. You could do 9 on the G, or you can bend 12 on the D. So the way I play it, I'll play it a little faster this time, but that's pretty much how I do it. But I play it a little differently each time, you know, because like I think when she sings, you know, she sings it a little bit differently each time. But for me, you know, that bend, I think she does that in the song. I listened to the song a bunch of times in recording this. So I made those decisions at that time. But another alternate version would be just sliding to the 14 there and just holding it. So that's the chorus, and that's what I'm pretty much doing for each chorus. And then for the... I'm sorry, that's the verse. And then what I'm doing for the chorus is we're going back to the shape 1. Of the B minor pentatonic. And for the chorus, I slide on the B string to the 10th fret. Back to the 7. And then slide to the 10. And then to the 9 on the G string. And then you do like this kind of hammer on pull off thing. So the chorus all in all sounds like... And then I do improv, you know, kind of on that first position of the pentatonic. I think at some part, yeah, like here, I kind of walk down the scale. And then I go back up. And I throw some bending in there and stuff, and some pulling off and stuff like that. But it's just kind of improv stuff. Any kind of soloing that I do, I never write it down. I just improv. And that's why sometimes it can sound, you know, similar to other stuff that I've done. But anyways, I come out of that little solo thing, and I slide back into that second position of the pentatonic. So it goes something like this. And then you end, again, on that 12 of the D string. And then you can start the verse again from there. But that's what I do for... That's the lead right there. That's pretty much all it is. It's just those first two shapes. Shape 1 and shape 2 of the pentatonic scale. And I keep talking about, you know, shape 1 and shape 2 of the pentatonic scale. So I pulled up a little picture real quick. This is what I'm talking about. There, I'll zoom in. So shape 1 is this blue, and then shape 2 is the green. That's what I'm referring to. Shape 1. And then shape 2. You know, shape 3. I'm not going to go through all of it, but that's what I'm referring to. Shape 1, 2, and 3. Also, I've been sitting here using my bass pick this whole time. No wonder it felt weird. It's always awkward playing in front of the camera or in front of somebody, but I was using the bass pick that whole time too. So anyways, that's the shape 1 and 2 of the pentatonic scale I was talking about. Definitely super useful, especially if there's any like newer guitar players learning, and I guess watching this. You know, it's really useful, the pentatonic scale, and learning it, all 5 shapes. I kind of made a mistake when I was young, getting stuck in one shape, and it haunts me now. Even if you watch any of these videos that I make or the songs that I cover, you know, I spend a lot of time. I just got, you know, learned licks in that first shape. Let me turn the fuzz on. So like this. You know, that's a common one you'll hear a lot. Or like... you know, going up and down the scale. But, I mean, it's still something that haunts me today. Even though I know how to play the other shapes, I still find myself getting stuck. Anyways, that's a rant. You don't care about all that. And I probably have made this video a lot longer than I was supposed to. So, I'm going to end the video now. I think that was everything. Oh, no, we didn't cover the mastering. Shit. Well, I guess there's not a whole lot to cover here. I put an EQ on with one band right here, boosting at 300. You know, I did that because if you listen, it just sounded kind of thin, you know, in the processing and production I did to the other tracks. I guess I kind of cut out some of that mid-range, 300 or so, and it's a wide band, so it just needed a little bit of mid-range. I think that's why I did that. As far as the compressor on the master, it's a multi-band compressor. If you look at the loudest parts, so like right here, you'll see it's going to just be gain reducing by like 3 decibels or something. Yeah, so each the high band, middle band, low band are each gain reducing by like 3. Nothing too crazy. Limiter, set at 14.5, but that, depends completely. Don't just copy these settings, is I guess what I'm trying to say. 14.5 means nothing. That's just what this exact recording needed. And I guess what I mean by needed is I only usually will gain reduce a little bit. So you'll see on this gain reduction meter here, it'll just, flash a little bit. I probably would never do a song where it's hitting somewhere between 6 and 12. That's way too much limiting. My ceiling's at -1. Loud max, excellent. Free, by the way, plugin. Just does what it says, makes it a little louder without squishing it. So I use a combo of loud max and limiter. And for this one, I just pulled the threshold down a little bit. Again, the ceiling here out is -1 decibel. And then I've got, of course, the metric AB, which I've talked a lot about on my first How It's Made video. And that I use on every song, but you'll see the loudness, I won't even have to like check before I tell you, but it's gonna hit around -10 LUFS, LUFS, at the loudest part. So this one's actually, it's a little louder. This is at -9, so this is louder than I usually would make it, but it's what worked for this. It's what I decided when I was actually producing this. So I think that's pretty much the whole song, it's pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot of tracks, but anyways, that is all the production, all the instrument parts. We kind of went over how I played each part for the song, the drums. Yeah, that's that. Thank you for watching this, and I'll get better at this kind of stuff in time. I'm just learning still. I'm not very good at making this. I'm not very good at making my points concise. I'm not very good at doing all this in 10 minutes like it seems like so many YouTubers do. So I guess I'll either quit or get better, one of the two. So hopefully it's just keep getting better. But thank you for watching this. I appreciate it. If you have any questions or anything, leave it in the comment or find a way to message me. I'm on Reddit. I don't really check Instagram or Twitter or any of that stuff, but I do check Reddit, and then I check YouTube. So thank you very much. I hope you have a great day. Bye.